what is state diagram, what is path, what is the process, and what is the cycle. And also discussed what are the different types of process available in the thermodynamics. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, and we also discussed about quasi-static process. So, the main advantage of quasi-static process is each and every state, that is nothing but intermediate states are also in equilibrium. So, therefore, the process can be reversed. That is the main advantage of quasi-static process. And after that, we discussed about equilibrium. What is equilibrium? What are the conditions to be satisfied by a system in order to be in thermodynamic equilibrium? As we know, that is thermal equilibrium, mechanical equilibrium, and chemical equilibrium, right? If there is no change in the temperature of a system, means if it follows isothermal law, then we can say that it is in thermal equilibrium. And if there is no unbalanced force present within the system, if there is no unbalanced force, means there is no change in the pressure. If it is maintaining constant pressure throughout the system, then we can call it as the mechanical equilibrium. And coming to the chemical equilibrium, if there are no chemical reactions are taking place within the system, then we can call it as the chemical equilibrium. In order to be in thermodynamic equilibrium, all a system should satisfy the three conditions, that is thermal equilibrium, mechanical equilibrium, and chemical equilibrium. And this is what we studied, right, in last class. Now today's class we discussed about what is phase, what are types of systems based on the phase. As you might have studied in chemistry, a phase is nothing but it is the quantity of matter which is homogeneous throughout both in chemical composition and physical structure, right? So based on the phase, a substance can be either solid phase or liquid phase or gaseous phase, right? A pure substance can exist physically in all above three different states, that is solid phase, liquid phase, and gaseous phase. Okay, so a pure substance can exist physically in all of the above three different phases. You can take water. Water can exist in solid phase, liquid phase, and gaseous phase. In the solid phase, it is a ice. In liquid phase, it is normal water, and in gaseous phase, it is a steam. Okay. Now we see what is homogeneous system and what is heterogeneous system, and what are the differences we can see. Homogeneous means it is equal, right? So it's a system. If a system consists of only a single phase, if the properties of the matter within the system is of single phase, then we can call that system as a homogeneous system. We can take a water is a single liquid phase. You can take a ice is a solid phase, and we can take a vapor, nothing but it is a gaseous phase, right? So mixture of air and water vapor both comes under single phase only, both comes under vapor phase only. And water plus nitric acid, that is liquid phase, right? And octane plus heptane, that is also different phase, right? So both all three are same phase. You can, this is gaseous, this is liquid, and this may be solid. And if they exist in different phases, more than one phase they exist within a system, then that is called heterogeneous system. Mixture of ice plus water, like that. So water plus oil. So these are the different phases within a system. We can call that as a heterogeneous. Homogeneous means single phase exists. Heterogeneous means more than one phase. So that thing you keep remember. If it exists in more than one phase, that is called heterogeneous system. If it exists in single phase, that is called homogeneous system. Right. Now coming to the next concept, is that is clear? What is phase? What is homogeneous system? What is heterogeneous system? Can anyone? Anyone please reply. Is it is clear, or do you have any doubt? Please ask now itself. If you
No
have
doubt,
any,
sir.
no doubt regarding what
No
is
doubt, sir.
yeah, right. Next, coming to the approaches, macroscopic and microscopic approach in thermodynamics. Very important for short answer point of view. Right. So in order to study the thermodynamics, in order to study the properties of a system, first you should select one of approach, right? So that approach you can get from either macroscopic or microscopic. We can see what are the major differences between macroscopic and microscopic, and which approach can be adapted in order to study the properties of a system. Okay. Yes. Somebody unmuted, please mute your mics. Now, so here, first we
Narayan,
will,
sir.
okay, right. So now, first we will discuss about macroscopic approach. So macroscopic means the name itself. What is difference between macro and micro? Anyone?
So
My,
macro means which we can see with naked eye.
Macro will be more
yeah.
smaller than micro.
Yes, yes. No, no, no. Micro is more smaller than macro. Right? Yes or no? Micro is smaller than
Yes, sir.
macro, right?
Yes,
Macro
sir.
we
Yes,
can
sir.
see with our naked eye, but micro you require some optical microscopes in order to study the system. Okay, now, so here in macroscopic approach to the thermodynamics, so we will study the overall behavior of the system. We don't go in deep into the system, only overall behavior of the system we are going to study. So this is also called as classical thermodynamics. This macroscopic approach is also called as classical thermodynamics because we are not going deep into the molecular levels, only overall behavior of the system we are going to consider. Okay, structure of the matter at the molecular or atomic or subatomic levels are not considered. So we are not going in deep with the atomic or subatomic or molecular level, only overall structure we are going to study. That is also called as classical thermodynamics. The other name for macroscopic approach is classical thermodynamics. So here we are, because we are studying only overall behavior, it requires only simple mathematical calculations. So as the engineers, we can interested only overall behavior. So that's why it is called the macroscopic approach is also called as the engineer's approach. The macroscopic approach is also called as engineering approach, right? So I'll give an example. Now let us consider, are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let us consider a gas cylinder. Let us assume this is the gas cylinder. Right, today I started using the stylus. Maybe it may take 1 or 2 classes to get familiar with this. Okay, now it is clear, right? Readable gas cylinder.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, right. So let us assume inside the gas cylinder, let us say here we have valve and etc. Okay, and these molecules. Now, can you tell me, are these molecules, let us say molecule 1, let us say this is molecule 1 somewhere here, molecule 2, molecule 3, are the molecules are having same kinetic energy? Sorry,
Yes,
anyone?
sir. Same con.
They have different kinetic energies. Okay, they have different pressures, right? Now in macroscopic approach, what we are doing, let us say I am going to measure the pressure of the system. So I install a pressure gauge here. Okay, let us say this is the P is the pressure gauge. I am not at all interested in individual molecules. I'm going to study the overall pressure of the cylinder. Then it is called as macroscopic approach. In the same way, let us say if I want to measure the temperature of the system, let us assume instead of gas cylinder some other gas we have inside, because it is not possible to insert the temperature into the gas cylinder. Okay, it is highly dangerous. Let us some gas is there present within the system. Like this I'm going to let us say I'm inserting the thermometer over here. I'm inserting the thermometer over here and I'm measuring the temperature. So this temperature is overall temperature, because this molecule 1 is having different temperature, molecule 2 is having different temperature, because their kinetic energies are different. So the kinetic energy is directly related with the temperature. If kinetic energy are more, so they can move with very high faster, they can collide with each other. During that process they can exchange their momentum. Therefore the temperatures also increase if you increase the kinetic energy. That is the reason if you add heat to any system, If you add heat any system, what will happen? The kinetic energy of the particles present within the system will increase, thereby the temperature is also increased. If you study the overall properties, let us say pressure, temperature, that is called macroscopic approach. I am not interested in individual particles, only I am interested in overall system. That is macroscopic point of approach. Any doubt in macroscopic, please tell me. Please reply, anyone.
Sir, explain one again.
One again, right?
No, sir.
So, okay, I'll explain. Let us say, I'll change the color. Right. Now, so as we studied, macro means it is overall approach, right? Say overall approach, right? So means we are going to study only the outer, means overall structure. We are not going deep into the atomic level or subatomic level, right? So for that reason, what we did, so let us another example you take. Let us say we have a bowl. Inside the bowl we are having water. Okay, now what we are doing, I am applying some heat to the water. We are heating in the presence of some source, right? So what happened? This water will get heat. Now can you tell me, are the all molecules of the water will be at the same temperature?
No.
No, right? So they are at the different temperatures. Now if you see the layer, the water particles nearer to the boundary, let's say this region, first they will get heated, and due to that what will happen, their density will be decreased. Because if you heat the anything, water, let us for example air or water, the density of the particles will be decreased by heating. Once the density decreases, what will happen, they will float to the top. At the top the particles are having higher density, they will start moving downward direction. They will start moving downward direction. Means we can say that the water molecules present inside this system are at different temperatures. Agree?
Yes.
Right. Now suppose if I don't want the temperatures at, what is the temperature at this level, what is the temperature at this level, so what I will do, I can directly install a thermometer inside this water bath, and I will wait for some time to get the equilibrium state, and I will note down the temperature. This is the macroscopic point of approach. Whereas in microscopic point of approach, you need to study the temperature of molecules here, temperature of the molecules here, temperature of the molecules, right? How to find out those things? You need to use some other different mechanisms to measure the temperature, right? We can use thermocouples. So thermocouples is the digital type of measuring temperature. Let us say I am using thermocouples. I am noting down the temperatures T1, T2, T3, T4, because the molecules are a different temperature, and overall temperature can be noted down by average of all these temperatures. This is called microscopic approach. Is it clear difference between macro and micro?
Yes.
Right? Macro means I am studying overall behavior of the system. Micro means in depth we are going. Okay, now coming to our slide. One second. Right. So macro, what is the example? Total pressure, temperature of a gas cylinder, as I explained just now. Now coming to the micro, in microscopic approach, okay, so directly deals with the structure of the matter, okay. So what is the other name for macro? Macro is classical thermodynamics. It involves lesser mathematical formulas. Whereas coming to the microscopic, because it is going deep into the system, so that is the reason it is called statistical thermodynamics. Always classical thermodynamics is easier than statistical thermodynamics, because there the number of mathematics is very less. Whereas in statical it involves complex mathematics. So you can see it involves complex mathematics. Therefore, it is the approach is very difficult in case of statistical thermodynamics. That is the reason microscopic approach is also called as scientist approach. Microscopic approach, other name is scientist approach, because it involves complex mathematics. Because we are going deep into the system, it is very difficult to read the system. That is the reason microscopic is the scientist approach. The example is pressure exerted by individual molecules, temperature exerted by individual molecules, as I explained, right? But in thermodynamics, we are following only macroscopic because of easiness in design. Okay, so for a great majority of engineering applications, macroscopic, that is engineer's approach, or classical thermodynamics is more appropriate, as it involves simple mathematics to design, so the design will become easy. So for each thing there are three names. You can see here: macroscopic approach, or classical thermodynamics approach, or engineer's approach. In the same way, microscopic also microscopic approach, or statistical thermodynamics, or scientist approach, right? So these are the three different names for each of this. Clear? Very, very important for 3 marks or 5 marks. What is main difference between macroscopic approach and microscopic approach? So many times asked in the exam. If it is clear, then I'll go to the next topic. Anybody?
Clear, sir.
Only one person is replying every time. Why? What about others?
Sir, if
Yes, sir, I'm clear.
if
You,
macros if
uh,
sir, if macroscopic is dealing with structure of matter, then what is microscopic dealing with?
that's what atomic level, subatomic level it is considering
Okay, sir. Okay.
deep inside. That is called, it is
Understood, sir.
scientist approach. Okay,
Okay, sir. Yes,
because
sir.
it involves complex mathematics. Okay, because if you people
Yes.
react, then only I came to know that all are listening. Otherwise, see, we don't get encouraged. If you people are asking doubts and if you give reply, then we will be motivated, and I'm used to more give more examples. Okay, see, because in this
Yes, sir.
situation also we are coming to the college and we are delivering the lecture. If people are not interested, then no meaning of that. Please be in the, it will be two sides. If it is one way, no use of that. Then if it is the case, from today onwards I won't share the recorded videos. Those who people are giving a reply, for them only I will share. Because if people are thinking that though whether I will listen the class or not, sir anyhow will share the recorded videos so that I can go through the class. So there is no case of interaction in that. If you have any doubts, you can't ask anybody in the recorded video. That is the reason we are taking online classes. Are you getting my point or not?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, temperature. Next topic is the temperature. What is temperature? So we can feel with our sense, right? Whether the body is hot or cool. Yes or no? By touching, by sense, we can feel the body is hot or the body is cool, right? So by naked eye we can't say, but by feel we can see, by touch. Okay, it is the measure of degree of hotness or coldness of your body. So let us take, if you have a hot coffee cup, and if you keep it on the table and if you leave for some time, what happen?
It will cool down.
Cool, sir.
It will cool down. At the same time, I'm keeping one more glass of cool drink besides the coffee. Let us say certain, half meter or 1 meter. I kept one hot coffee and cold cool drink on the table. What will happen to the both the systems? Hot coffee is one system, cold cool drink is other system. What happens to the hot coffee and what happens to the cold cool drink?
Both comes to the room temperature.
Both comes down to the room temperature. Now tell me, in case of hot coffee, what is happening? All so because I am specifying hot coffee, the temperature of the coffee is obviously it will be above the atmosphere, above the room temperature. Yes or no?
Yes.
Thereby
Yes,
what,
sir.
Yes.
thereby what will happen? The hot coffee, it start discharging the temperature, it starts exchanging the heat, it start decreasing its temperature to the surrounding atmosphere, and this process continues till the temperature of the coffee reaches to the surroundings temperature or room temperature, right? Means in this case that heat is flowing from coffee to the atmosphere because the coffee is hotter than the atmosphere. Agree?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Now whereas coming to the cold cool drink, what will happen? It will become
Hot.
Become normal to the Room temperature.
Means the temperature of the cool drink will increase, right? It will become hotter than the surroundings. Yes or no, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because the temperature, let us say this is cool drink. This is cool drink, right? Now, so here, what may be the temperature? Let us say temperature is some 5 degrees centigrade. Agree?
Yes.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Mic test 1 2 3.
No.
To the cool drink till. Hey, Babu, mute yourself.
Hello.
Somebody unmuted.
Sir, we are not able to hear you, sir.
Clear, Amiru? Mute చేయండి.
Maybe your connection is so poor.
My connection?
Yeah.
Sorry?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We can't able to hear you.
We haven't heard what you said for last 2 minutes.
Huh? 1 second. Um, One second. Hello. Now, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Clear now.
Yes, yes. Okay.
Sir.
Sorry, some internet problem, I think.
Okay, sir.
Right. So let us consider we have a glass of cool drink here. Now you can hear, right? You can see also, right? Please reply.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, right. Let us assume the temperature of the cool drink is, let us say, 5 degrees centigrade. Okay. So where we kept this cool drink? We kept it on the table. Yes or no, right? We kept it on the table. Surrounding, what is the temperature inside the room? The temperature is around 27 degrees centigrade. Okay. Now what will happen? So here earlier what I discussed, we discussed with the hot coffee. Is that voice is clear when I discussed hot coffee?
No, sir. It was
Yes, sir.
taggy.
Okay, now I'll clear hot coffee also. Let us say we keep hot coffee and cool drink on the table in one room only, right? So usually let us say the temperature of the coffee is around, let us say, 40 degrees centigrade, and here also room temperature is equal to how much? 27 degrees centigrade. Okay. Now in both the cases what will happen? So here if you observe this hot coffee, this temperature, this coffee temperature is greater than the atmosphere temperature. In coffee temperature is greater than atmosphere temperature. Therefore the coffee starts losing its heat by transferring heat to the surrounding atmosphere. Means it starts evaporating to the atmosphere. Thereby this 40 degrees is keep on decreasing and it will continue till 27 degrees centigrade. Once the temperature of the coffee reaches 27 degrees centigrade, there is no flow of heat from the coffee to the surrounding atmosphere or atmosphere to the coffee, because both are at the same temperature. Room temperature is 27 degrees centigrade and coffee temperature is also 27 degrees centigrade. There is a thermal equilibrium between the system and the other system. Other system is nothing but our atmosphere. Therefore, we can say that it is thermally in equilibrium condition. Clear now, coffee thing?
Yes. Yes, sir.
In the same way, now coming to the cool drink, let us say the cool drink is at temperature 5 degrees centigrade. Our surrounding temperature is 27 degrees centigrade. It is greater than 5 degrees centigrade. Therefore, what will happen? So due to the convection and conduction, you will come to know what is convection and conduction in later on. So I'll tell you just some glance what is conduction. Let us say, let us consider a metal rod. let us take a metal rod. You hold the metal rod with your hand here, and other side it is exposed to the heat. Let us say you applied some fire. So what do you feel after 1 minute?
Our hand gets burning.
It will get
Right.
hot, sir.
It will become hot other end. Though we applied heat at one end, the other end also you will become you will experience some hot condition. That is what the main reason is. The what we call, this is the rod, let us say metal rod, right? So it consists of molecules. So due to the heat addition to the rod, these molecules nearer to the this end will get actuated. Its kinetic energy will be increased. They starts moving like this. So during that process, they exchange the heat with the surrounding molecules. These molecules will get heated. That is the reason you are feeling hot here. So means the heat exchange within the solid body is called conduction. Just time being, remember, conduction means the heat transfer within the solid body. Clear? Conduction? In all rods, the heat transferred is due to the conduction. Whereas coming to the convection, as I explained in earlier slide, so let us consider a bowl. It consists of water, and here we are applying the heat. So first, which one will get heated? First, the bowl will get heated. The bottom layer of the bowl will get heated. From this bottom layer, the layer nearer to the bottom, the layer of the water particles nearer to the bottom will get heated, and its density will decrease and they will float to the top. At the top, the molecules are under higher density. They start moving downward direction, right? So this flow of current within this liquid is nothing but the convection. This is called convection. Convection means the heat transfer within the liquid. The heat transfer within the solid is called conduction. The heat transfer within the fluid is called convection. Now tell me.
Can you repeat convection once?
Convection. So convection is nothing but conduction is clear for you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, conduction means
Yes,
the heat transferred within the solid bodies is called conduction. Okay. Whereas coming to the, let us say here bowls, as I explained, this is very famous example. So we took one bowl and we filled with water, let us say 2 liter or 3 liter, and let us say we keep it on the stove and start adding heat. Now, so first this layer of the bowl will will absorb the heat directly from the flame, and it will get heated, and the water layer nearer to this bottom layer will be first heated. As I explained already, the bottom layer will be under high temperature than the top layer. Agree? Because this layer is directly exposed to the flame, because this layer is nearer to the flame, therefore this will become hot compared to the top layer. Therefore this temperature will be more than this temperature. Therefore this particle's density will be decreased due to the addition of heat, because the hot water will be less weighter compared to the cold water. That is the reason the density of hot water will be always less than the cold water. So thereby the hot water density is less, therefore they start moving upward direction and they will be settled at the top because of the lesser density. Whereas coming to here, the particles are under cold condition compared to the bottom layers. They are having higher density. They start moving downward direction. This current, this is called convection current. This is the nothing but the transfer of the heat within the liquid. This is called convection. Convection means heat transfer within the liquid body. Now it's clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, so here I'm explaining about this cool drink, right? So now what will happen? This temperature is, please mute your mics. So this temperature is less than the surrounding atmosphere. What will happen? First, this bowl, that may be glass or metal, let us say glass, metal bowl, let us say glass, steel glass, let us say. First, this wall of the glass will be exposed to the atmosphere. Agree? This is nearer to the atmosphere. So first what will happen? That this temperature is also 5 degree. This temperature of the glass bowl, the wall of the bowl is starts increasing its temperature 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8, like that. Let us assume the temperature of the glass is, the wall of the temperature of the glass bowl is increased to 10 degrees centigrade. By that time, the temperature of the cool drink within this may be 7 degree or 8 degree. It is not equal to 10 degree, because it will take certain time to transfer the temperature from the wall of the glass to the surrounding liquid. So like that, the temperature of the glass bowl is increasing from 10 to 15, 15 to 20, 20 to 27. Once this temperature reaches to 27 degrees centigrade, now the cool drink temperature may be around 20 degree. It may take more time to get the temperature is equal to the atmosphere. Once the temperature of the cool drink is reached to the atmosphere, there is no transfer of the heat between the atmosphere and the cool drink. Then we can say that there is a thermal equilibrium between the atmosphere and the cool drink. So that is the reason I can say that always heat will flow from a body under high temperature to the body under low temperature. That is the main idea of discussing the whole story. Always heat will flow from body at high temperature to the body at low temperature. If you take the hot coffee, this is the body under high temperature. Your surrounding atmosphere is the body under low temperature. If you take cool drink, the atmosphere is the hot body and your drink is the cold body. Therefore, it is transferring from hot body to the cold body. Now it is clear.
Yes, sir.
Right. So that is I am discussing here, right? So now if an object is heated or cooled, some of its physical properties are going to change. 1 second. Yeah, right. If the object is heated or cooled, some of its physical properties are changed, right? Let us take, if you take a solid rod, if you heat the rod, what will happen? Its volume will increase. Yes or no? Right? The small
Yes, sir.
volume will be increased if you heat the solid body. Suppose if you heat the gas, by keeping its volume constant, its pressure increase. Suppose if you keep pressure constant, its volume will increase. If you heat the gas, by keeping its pressure constant, its volume will increase. By keeping its volume constant, its pressure will increase. Like that, if it is a conductor is there, if you heat the conductor, its electrical resistance will change. Right now, if you hit the conductor, its electrical resistance will change. So that is, we can say that these things, those who are changing, those are called the physical property that changes with the temperature is called thermodynamic property. Thermodynamic property is nothing but it always changes with respect to the temperature. It always changes in proportion to the temperature it is exposed. That is called thermometric property. Okay, so when the heat is transferred to your body, if you add certain heat to the body, its energy will be increased because the kinetic energy of the molecules will be increased. Once energy is increased, its temperature is also will become more. Its temperature is also increased by increasing its energy. Okay, and at the same way, reverse, if the heat is released from the body, if you extracted heat from your body, then its energy and temperature will decrease. Addition of heat will causes the increase of the temperature. Removal of the heat from your body causes decrease in its temperature, right? So temperature difference causes the heat transfer. As I explained in the previous slide, the temperature difference causes the heat transfer, that is from hot body to the cold body. Always heat will flow from body under high temperature to the colder temperature. How the water will flow? If there exists a gravity difference, means always water will flow from higher slope to the lower slope. Yes or no? That is due to the gravity difference. Heat will flow. Water will flow. In the same way, the heat will flow from body under high temperature to the cold temperature. Till what point the exchange will takes place? Till the both the bodies reaches same temperature. Yes sir, right? So I explained atmospheric temperature is 27 degrees centigrade. Hot coffee is 40 degrees centigrade. The coffee losing its temperature till the temperature is equal to the 27 degrees centigrade. That I can say that those two bodies are in thermal equilibrium. Till that point, the temperature exchange will be taking place. So once both the bodies are at same temperature, we can say that the thermal equilibrium is attained between the two systems. One system is your coffee, other system is our atmosphere. The equality of temperature is the only requirement for the thermal equilibrium. So as here I drawn high temperature body to the lower temperature body, heat is flowing. That is T1 is greater than T2. Okay, right. So how to measure the temperature? So in olden days, from our childhood onwards, we are very familiar with the thermometers, right? Which fluid we used in thermometers? Can anyone?
Mercury.
Mercury, right? So mercury we are using, right? Nowadays we are using alcohol also because mercury is toxic. So that's why we are using alcohol also, right? Now Do you know how those divisions, what are the, let us say, we are considering centigrades are there, right? In glass thermometer, mercury is the fluid, right? So thermometric property is there inside the mercury. Now, so have you observed the divisions over the thermometer?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, what is the lower division you can see?
Zero.
Can you speak louder? What is the lower? 0 degree. What is the higher degree you can see?
120 or
It depends upon our applications, right? It depends upon our applications. Some thermometers may be up to 10 degree. If you want to measure more precise, the divisions are divided into point like that. If you want to, let us say, just only normal approximate, then let us say each division is 1 degree. It depends upon, there may be thermometers available up to measure to 5 degree, 10 degree, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, 120, 150. It's all depends upon our application where we are going to use. If you are, let us say your temperature rise is 0.05 degrees centigrade, there the precision comes into matter. There you need to select the thermometers with higher precision, means the divisions are more accurate you required. So that's all depends upon the application. Okay, now do you know how the divisions are made within the thermometer? Can anyone? How the divisions are divided in the thermometer? You might have studied already.
Yes, sir.
Hey, anybody? Right. Okay, I'll discuss. Okay, right. So thermometers are the, close your, mute your mics, please. Thermometers are the devices used to measure the temperature of a system. Okay, all thermometers are based on the principle that some of the physical property, as explained in the earlier side, if you take a solid body, what is the physical property? Volume. If you take a gas, the physical properties are either pressure or volume. If you take a electrical conductor, the resistance is the physical property. So because by exposing to the hot condition, the physical property of a substance or system is going to change. The change of the physical property is calibrated in terms of the temperature. For that, first you need to calibrate the system. Do you know what is meant by calibration? Calibration is nothing but, let us say you are having a weight scale, right? Let us say we are having a weight gauge, and let us say in that, you keep some product, it is showing 5 kg. You have one more weight scale, it is showing 6 kg. Do you know which is correct? In order to know which is correct or which is wrong, first you should calibrate any instrument before making use of that. The calibration is very important. Calibration is nothing but checking the correctness of the thing with respect to some standard thing. So you need to calibrate any object before using. Okay, so if you see the supermarkets, the weight scales are every year they need to calibrate with in the presence of the system. Okay, they will take the system, they will calibrate every year. Okay, now in olden days, if you see, there will be some masses are there, 1 kg, half kg, 250 grams, 200 grams, right? Every year they should go for the checking the weightness. So they will correct with respect to certain measures. Based on that, they will calibrate. Calibration is very important. If it is calibrated, then only it will show the correct value. Otherwise, we can't believe the reading of that particular instrument. The calibration is very important. Okay, so the physical properties, as I discussed, the volume, dimensions, pressure, volume, electrical resistance. Some objects also, they will change the color also. If it is subjected to hot environment, they will change the color. Based on that, we can say that, so the temperature of the body is more or less based on the color. Okay, right. So with this, we will stop today's lecture. Okay, now ask me if you have any doubt. Hello, please. Hello.
Where macro, sir,
Yeah.
macro is smaller than micro, sir.
No. Micro is smaller than macro. Micro is smaller than macro.
Okay, sir.